because I can't say, well, yeah, water at your house. So if they tell me no, then by law, I have to let that be known. So that kind of discussion doesn't happen. Do the same thing with little kids. It's a little bit different. If I smell a little kid, I'll just, in the past, we had such a team at the last school I was at, where I could go to the parent in the building, and we have moms in the building, and I'll say, I think this needs your attention. And that's how we get handled. So I have to do these things with a long handle spoon. I have to be real careful how I approach these topics. This summer, I had parents coming in, and it's embarrassing. Like Mark said, there are teachers that don't have water. Right. You won't know about it because it's embarrassing to say, I have a job, but I can't afford all my bills. That's right. So, the parents did the same way. And I had a lady come in this summer, and she said, my water got cut off, and I this and I that. And because I work with Maureen and Mary at Welfare Rights, the parent liaison who was trying to help her had to say, no, that information you've given her is not going to work. This is what she needs to do. And I was able to help her get her water back on, but she was very embarrassed. And had I not been standing there when she thought she was whispering to the lady, I would have never heard the conversation. It's embarrassing. People don't want to tell you they don't have water.
We're going to not really transition, but we're going to continue. And this young lady, ma'am, you had something you wanted to ask, and that young man over there with those beautiful cornrows, he had something he wanted to say, and then we'll get Reverend Pinckney to make some comments, and Ms. McClinton. Ma'am, you had a question?
My name is Latanya Garrett, and my question was, when there is a lack of manpower at the water department, has there ever been a compromise with the chlorine, with the chemicals being put in the water? Have we said, okay, we don't have enough funding, so now we're going to cut back on maybe chlorine and fluoride? And if that is the case, what type of dangers does that impose on humans? Secondly, this is a comment. I've seen a lot of people water shut off just because there's not enough customer service down at the water departments, where you have 200 to 300 people standing in line from the time the doors open to the time they're closed, and then by the time they get home, their water is off because they were standing in line to pay it. That's number two. Number three.
Quickly, darling, quickly.
Number three, there was a neighbor of mine that did not have water. Set her up where she can come in and out of my house to get water. But for a whole year, she tried to reestablish and could not get any help. So we need to speak to those issues to get our people reconnected so they can live a viable lifestyle.
So who from the water department can answer that? And young man, what was your question too? So maybe we can get a twofer here.
The United Nations, y'all have information pertaining to all treaty laws also. Am I correct?
What?
Treaty laws.
Treaties, laws.
Right. So under the treaty law pertaining to indigenous people, it is a requirement that you have running water because it's part of our livelihood. It's vital. It's mandatory. So any violation that the city or the state or federal government is allowed to happen to the people under the treaty is a violation of international proportions. Right. So they can't shut anybody's water down if they don't know that they're indigenous or not. They have to have the water for the indigenous people that lived in that area.
Are you asking that as a question?
No, they are required to give the people of the city of Detroit information pertaining to indigenous treaties, indigenous human rights. Not human rights for civil, but human rights for human beings.
Okay.
It's mandatory. So if you can provide us with the indigenous human rights and the treaties, it'll be easier for them to put all the violations up under the management and the mayor and all the other ones. They can solve that problem.
Who is it from the water department, Mr. Robinson? Anybody from the water department that can answer or might answer the question about the chlorine?
Great. I can address the other question about the customer service. They cut back on customer service reps and have armed the guards with Glocks, tasers, and vests. And that's their response to the people.
Okay.
In 1951, I got it out of the
Okay, who can answer from the water department? Who can answer the question about whether or not chlorine percentages has been compromised? Water department?
No,
No, are you from the water department?
no, but
Okay, ma'am, hold on. I want you to talk and don't move. Anybody from the water department?
That question will probably come out of that environmental protection issue that the young lady across the room raised earlier.
Okay, Ms. Catherine, the question has come up. That's a good answer. The question has come up about whether or not chlorine is compromised. And this young lady wanted to get some details on that. And we just need to know who to direct her to.
When you cut back on manpower at the water department, does that affect possibly just cutting back on any chemicals also that preserves?
With fewer workers.
Russ knows the answer.
I was gonna say Russ or Mike Mahoney know better than I do regarding that.
Mike, you want to take a crack at it?
So I have a problem with saying here, what's the question?
Russ answered.
All right. Well, the question was whether the chlorine standards are being reduced and compromised as a result. The truth is, I don't have the answer because the tests are done every hour or every several hours and daily in 24-hour cycles at the plant, and that's where the data is, and that's what it's not regulated by EPA, it's regulated by Department of Environmental Quality of the state of Michigan. And those reports go in daily, so that's where the answer would be found. But it's very likely that that's one area where they won't do it because that affects city and suburb.
If you give me your information, I'll get it to Danny Stillwell. She can answer your question. Well, I had brown water today.
All right, hold on.
Training won't
This young lady, stand up there.
Training.
And you have a question, and now listen, we only have a few minutes. I hear you, Miko. We're moving into another segment. Please, ma'am, and then this young lady.
Okay, I am a customer that was at the water department. I had to wait in line for hours. We had to wait in the rain.
Oh, boy.
In the rain. They had people on crutches. They had people on walkers. They had seniors that they would not let in the building. And what I did, I went to the guard and said, there is no way you're going to leave these people out here in the rain and just in climate weather waiting to get service. Now, you have seniors. They're on crutches. They're on walkers. They're in wheelchairs. The city is so indecent, they don't have a policy for seniors. They don't have a policy when a senior citizen comes into the water department to help them. So I went into the water department as a citizen and said, can you please take these older people, you can leave me in the rain, and I'm a senior too. You can leave me out here, but you can't leave these people out here on crutches. Now, if you want to know how that affects a person, those people will get sick, they will get pneumonia, and they will pass away. Because you cannot be in that kind of weather when you are sick already.
Ma'am.
So,
can you give us your name, ma'am?
Yes, my name is Marlisa Mia.
And Miss Mia, tomorrow, are you able to come to the town hall meeting?
No.
Please do what you can and maybe send someone else because that's Rob. Robinson, raise your hand. We're taping those kinds of stories tomorrow.
Oh,
you
wait a
get
minute.
there anytime between 3 and 6.
I can't be there, but let me tell you something. The water company has water running in the building. They had a big pail in the water company, and water was running in the building as all of us citizens sit there to get our water taken care of. It was a big hole in the ceiling at the water department. And I can tell you, the one on Grand River, because I go there as a landlord to help some of my tenants. But let me tell you something else. The guards have guns and tasers and all these things on them. That intimidates anybody that's going there. That is intimidation to the citizens. Now, if you want me to pay my water bill, you can't have me being intimidated. You can't have guards and they're nasty and they're not nice, and people are already intimidated because they have to pay a water bill. Like the guy said, you don't go pay a water bill because you're happy, and then you are intimidated when you get there. So I know you're not going to be here, but if you can come, just go to a water department one day. If you can stay here one extra day, drive around the city. Go to a water company. Drive around these two Detroits we have. We have two Detroits. We have downtown. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's great. Then you have the rest of Detroit. Take a drive on 6 Mile, 5 Mile, Grand River, Fenkell. You will see the stark difference in Detroit. It's two Detroits now. And let me say one more thing.
Quickly, dear, quickly.
They're spending $650 million on a stadium called Hockey Town.
Yep.
Just let me tell you something. And the citizens don't have jobs, don't have water. But we have money for Hockey Town. We have money for things. So I implore you to just stay a day and take a drive around this city that they pump up downtown. Oh, get downtown. And then go see the rest of Detroit. It is devastating. Devastating. And I've been a Detroiter all my life. I do not live in the city now, but I was a Detroiter all my life, and my husband is a 33-year career person that's retired from the city. Now that's another issue.
Thank you.
But I implore you just to stay an extra day.
So, Maureen,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know that
4 o'clock.
they have a comment to share with the people who are here, and then we are moving into the housing topic. So how should we manage that transition?
I'm managing it right now. I got it. Go ahead, dear.
My name is Queen
Quickly,
Reynolds. I'm co-president of the Universal Temple of Peace and Love. We're a community nonprofit organization, and we're around the community talking to people. And one thing that I would like for you all to keep in mind as you're listening to everything, collective persecution. Collective persecution. That's what we're under, and everybody in this room knows it. It started back in the 40s. It continued on through the 70s. They even got on TV. And a lot of you got grayer hair than I do. And you remember when they got on TV and they said that if it took us 50 years, we're coming back into the city and we're going to take this city back. They said it to us. They said it. You want a solution? Stop voting. Stop paying taxes. Stop pimping yourself out to these people. Stand up and build your own community. United Nations, you have a right. Collective persecution. You all know about it, and you know that's a human violation. You are not allowed to go into a city. Why are they doing all of this? Why are they privatizing? Why are they putting the people in this city through so much?
They're racketeers. That's why.
Collective persecution. They are trying to move us out of this city.
Gentrification.
Thank you. All right. What we're going to do is we're not leaving this subject. Sir, you'll be up next. We're not leaving this subject. Want to introduce this information for folks to hear about housing and how that's connected to this water situation. Okay? Sylvia, then we're coming your way, sir.
All right, thank you, Maureen.